How to pose for boudoir pictures. Do you have a boudoir shoot coming up and you're not quite sure how to do the poses? Well, if you're hiring any kind of a legitimate photographer, they should be able to guide you through all of the poses, and you should not have to worry about that at all. And if they can't direct you through poses, I would recommend hiring a different photographer. That's not the point of this video. If you're okay with just winging it, or maybe you want to take some photos yourself at home, this video is for you. I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to pose for boudoir photography. Now, these 5 tips are going to help you show the things you want to show and hide the things that you don't want to see, and it applies to everybody. So it's going to make you look phenomenal in front of the camera.
It's showtime.
Hello, I'm Mike Lloyd. I run a multi-6-figure boudoir studio in Silicon Valley, California, and I have photographed a lot of people. Posing is my jam. I get to speak at conferences, I have online courses. I'm pretty well known in the boudoir space for what I do. Part of that is my posing. And I learned before online courses were available, before you could watch YouTube videos like this one, I would literally just tear sheets out of magazines because Instagram wasn't invented yet. And I would look at, Chanel ads, Gucci ads, Prada ads, and that's where I learned my posing, from fashion magazines. So for me to figure out how to take this picture and guide somebody into it, I had to learn how to communicate these things really clearly and understand the mechanics. Then I studied classic art and I learned what the fundamentals are of posing and composition. I combine all of those things into what I do, and I'm going to share that with you now. So my 5 tips for better poses for boudoir photography. Number 1, curves and diagonal lines. Number 2, interact with your environment. Number 3, change where you're looking. 4, using body parts to cover body parts. And number 5, have fun. The last one might sound cheeseball. It is super important, so please do not skip that one. Okay, the first one, diagonal lines and curves. Super important. This is aesthetically pleasing to the feminine form. The feminine form, when put into curves and diagonal lines, is more aesthetically pleasing to our brains. This isn't a sexist thing. This isn't just a photography world thing. Like, this is how our brains work. This is how we perceive images. Hard vertical and horizontal lines are seen as more masculine, and they are stronger, more powerful lines in our brains, and diagonal lines and curves are more feminine. So if you're going for a more feminine look, diagonal lines and curves are what you want to create in these images. And if you want a stronger, more powerful masculine look in the images, then you can do hard vertical and horizontal lines. However you identify, if you identify as a woman and you want stronger, more powerful poses, then more upright, more horizontal lines. And if you want to show softer, more feminine features, diagonals and curves. So what do I mean by diagonals and curves? If you're standing to the camera and you take this hand and put it back on your hip, you've created a diagonal line here, this triangle. Now, if you take this knee and you bend that leg and bring it up, you now have a zigzag from your foot to your knee, to your elbow, to your shoulder, and then you can tilt the head back a little bit. You've got a zigzag going all the way up the body. Those are diagonal lines. As far as curves go, that could be something as simple as arching your back. I don't have hair. Pretend I have hair. Hanging back, something like that. Or a classic shot of laying on your back and you're arching, hands on your hips. So diagonal lines and curves are softer and more feminine. And if you want more powerful, like the Wonder Woman pose is a vertical pose. That is her power pose, right? That's something that you can do if you want to tell a different story. Also, the position of the camera. When you're shooting down on someone, you make them appear smaller, and the viewer is perceived as larger than the subject, because when we see things smaller than us, we're looking down at them. When we see things larger than us, we look up at them. If you're looking at an image that looks down on somebody, they are going to be perceived as smaller than you, even if they're actually taller than you. And if you're looking up at somebody in a photo, they will be perceived as larger than you, thus more powerful, less powerful. These are all storytelling elements you can use in your own photos. So if you want a stronger, more confident, more powerful feel, shoot up at yourself doing a powerful vertical pose. And if you want a more soft, submissive feel, then shoot down on yourself doing more diagonal and curvy poses. If you want to see more of how I demonstrate these actual poses, at Mike Lloyd Boudoir is my Instagram handle, and I demo these for my clients. You can see videos over there. I'll put a link to that down below, just in case my handle ever changes. All right, point number 2, interacting with your environment. If you're not sure how to pose with something. You know the Will Ferrell quote, like, what do I do with my hands? That's exactly what this is. If you're on the bed, pull the sheet across you, hold on to the pillow. Maybe you're sitting on the couch, hold a book in front of you, or hold it in front of your face so your eyes are just peeking over the top of the book. If you're in the kitchen, you can hold a cookie sheet in front of you, or like you're flipping something in a pan. There are a ton of things that you can do with your environment that will help you with the pose. And keep in mind the vertical, horizontal versus diagonal and curved when you are interacting with these things. And when you just look at your surroundings, you think, oh, there's a chair. That's cool. What do I do on the chair? Well, you can sit on it normally. You can straddle it. You can stand next to it. You can put one foot up on it like the Captain Morgan pose. There are a ton of things that you can do with the chair. You could just like bend over the top of the chair. A ton of ways you can interact with just a chair. You could sit next to it and put your arm up on it. All these different ways you can interact with just a chair. So take a look around the room wherever you want to take the photos and just use your imagination. There's no wrong answer. Number 3, this one's real short and sweet. Change where you're looking. If you're looking directly at the camera, you are engaged with the viewer. If you are looking away from the camera, then the viewer is observing the scene, and it tells an entirely different story. I love to have my clients look away from the camera. I really only have them look at the camera because I want to give a wider variety so my clients can purchase more photos. Not just because I want to make more money. Yes, I enjoy making money, but some clients prefer the direct eye contact and some prefer to be looking away. I'm going to give them a variety so that they can choose at the end. I suggest you do the same. And again, it tells a different story. If I'm holding a book in front of my face, looking over the top, looking at the camera, that's like I was reading, I saw you come into the room, and now I'm making eye contact with you. However, if I'm looking over the top of the book and you're viewing over here, viewing me looking that way, you're gonna wonder what was so captivating over there that I put the book down to observe this thing. Now it's gone from we are engaged together to what is this person looking at over there? I'm intrigued. So simple to make that quick change, and it tells a very, very different story. So again, looking at the viewer, looking off to the side, looking down, eyes open, eyes closed, all tell very different stories, and they're great ways to put variations on one pose. I can have one pose looking here, then looking down, and then looking up. 3 very different shots. All I did was change where I look. Number 4, using body parts to hide body parts. Firstly, I never suggest keeping your arms at your side because if you look at me now, I have no shape, I have no form, and because my arms are at my sides, it makes my torso appear wider. I don't know about you, but I've never met a woman who said, can you make my torso look as wide as possible? No one says that. So what you can do instead to keep your arms in to hide things, maybe somebody doesn't like the way their stomach looks and you want to hide that. Cool. So you turn them to the side, you can have them bring their arms down in front of them, holding their hand on their wrist, and now this arm is blocking the stomach from the camera. Or maybe they're sitting down, they can bring this knee up, bring their arm over the top of that knee. Now that's blocking the view from the camera to hide that body part. Or you could simply just turn somebody away if they don't want to see something, and you could, do the pose the other direction. Totally up to you. If somebody has scars or bruises or an injury that they don't want to be seen, just turn them the other way. Or put something in between the camera and the thing that you want to hide. Hair is also great for this. I love bringing the hair back, bringing the hair forward, cover part of the face, show the whole face. Covering things with other things can show the things you want, can hide the things you don't, and totally change the feel of the story. Again, like before, looking the different directions, pulling hair halfway over the face so one eye is making eye contact, super mysterious. Pulling all the hair over the face and letting everything hang down, looking away from the camera, also very mysterious. Or everything back looking straight on is a lot more intense. Different kind of intensity, but very intense. So simple things like that can totally mix up your poses. All right, the last thing, and I told you do not skip out on this one, so thank you for sticking around. Have fun. If you want to look seductive and like serious and mysterious and dark in your photos, cool, but like also you're allowed to laugh. You're allowed to enjoy the process. You're allowed to have a good time. And if you're doing the photos for somebody else, maybe you don't know what they're looking for. I will tell you that from my experience, every single time one of my clients brings a partner in to help them pick out photos for their album, the partner loves all of the laughing, smiling, fun ones, whereas my client wants all of the sexy, seductive poses. It's just personal preference, but in my experience, an overwhelming majority of partners want to see the happy, fun side because like that's who they look forward to every day. Yes, we love the dark, mysterious, sexy side too. That's what I've seen statistically. And so don't stress out. Don't beat yourself up if the poses aren't looking right. Just have fun with it because the more carefree you are, the more loose you move, and the more you just enjoy the process, the better the photos are going to look. So there you go. There are my 5 tips to better boudoir poses, whether you're doing them yourself or you're going to work with another photographer. So firstly, creating curves and diagonal lines. 2, interacting with the environment. 3, change where you look. 4, hiding body parts with other body parts. And 5, having fun. If you want some more videos about taking your own photos, I have a great video on how to take boudoir selfies. And if you're looking for a photographer, I have a fantastic video called How to Find a Photographer, where you can find someone who's the perfect fit for you, who will guide you through all of these poses, tell you how to do everything and remove all of the guesswork. Or you can just come out to my studio and see me. I'll put that link down below also. You are amazing. We'll see you inside.